Wonder Woman number 20, written by Brian Azzarello, art by Cliff Chiang and Goran Suzuka. So last issue, we just had a bunch of like planning and stuff like that. And the end was Firstborn made a deal with Poseidon to go after the baby, and Artemis was showing up to attack Zola and the baby. So, yeah, a lot of people going after the baby now. So we pick up with Apollo on his rooftop of Olympus, and he's just like, "Look, I want a new era. I don't want this. I want this to be enlightened, not trial by blood and all that. I want us to be able to talk through our problems." And Poseidon shows up, and he's just like, "What did you do to Olympus? This sucks. You suck." And basically, Apollo is just like, "Look, here's the thing. It's a time for change. I'm in charge now. This is me, and I'm going to take care of the little prophecy baby already. Like, it's already handled." And Poseidon just laughs, and he's just like, "Oh, and you said you were enlightened." So then we cut over to Zola. We have officially decided that the name of the baby is Zeke. So that's a thing. And as she's trying to put the baby down for bed, Artemis busts in just like, "Hey, can I hold my little baby brother?" And Wonder Woman hears the boom, comes in, sees Artemis there, and basically she's like, "Hey, look, you made a deal. If that baby was going to be the baby of prophecy, we had to kill it. We're going to kill it." And she's like, "Okay, well, I'm not going to do that." And it's like, "All right, well, then I'm going to kill it." It's like, "Okay, well, we're not going to do that." So immediately Wonder Woman and Apollo, or Artemis, get into a fight. So Zola runs out, meets up with Ares and Hera, and just like, "Oh, they're coming for my baby. What are we going to do? We got to save it. We got to go fix it." And Lennox steps up and is just like, "Hand me the baby. I'm like literally invulnerable. I will be able to protect it." And we see the battle between Artemis and Wonder Woman over London. Artemis is just like, "Hey, take off those gauntlets like you did before and just let loose, man. Like, we got this is a god fight. Like, fight like a god." And woman's like, "No, no, no. We're in the middle of London. Like, we will hurt people. I don't want to do that." And she's like, "Well, I don't care about hurting these people, so I'm going to win this one if you're not willing to do what's necessary." And she throws like some weird moonbeam stuff, which comes down and explodes the apartment that they were just in. Also, War seemingly was directly hit. So at that point, there's chaos on the ground. They're trying to outrun these moonbeams. And they're like, "Okay, moon's flying up top there. We got to get underground." So they head down to a subway. And Zola tells Lennox, like, "We can't just leave Diana. She'll die up there. We can't leave her." And he's just like, "I'm not gonna. Like, I'm planning to go and help her, but you need to take I have to protect this baby because you're not able to. So take the baby, get underground, and then I'll go help Diana." So we see the fight going on. Diana's pissed that the apartment exploded, thinking that all of her friends are now dead. And Artemis just throws a punch, throws her down. And we see that Wonder Woman has sneakily put her lasso around Artemis during this point. And she's just like, "Oh, what, you're going to try to pull me down? Yeah, tell me how that works out when you're unwilling to use your full strength." And she's like, "No, I'm not going to pull you down." And she sees them fighting against each other. She's like, "You're pulling me up." And then she just gives and lets the full strength of Artemis pull her up at like supersonic speed to deliver a super strong punch right into Artemis's face. Knocks her into a daze. Wonder Woman uses her lasso, throws her around, hits her super hard into the ground. And Artemis is just like, "Why won't you use your power, Amazon? You got so much of it." And she's just like, "Because I don't need it to win. Like, I can just use my brains to beat you instead." So she's about to knock out Artemis, and Ares grabs her hand. And she's like, "That's enough. She's beaten. I'll take care of her. I'll deal with her. You go take care of Zola and the baby, because they need your help right now more than ever." So Ares then picks up Artemis. We cut back to the rooftop of Olympus, and basically Poseidon is chewing out Apollo for thinking he earned this. Like, it was kind of just given to him, and he's like, "No, no, no, like, you threatened to marry Hera and she still didn't want you. Like, you're the worst. Nobody thinks you're strong. You're just ending up with this in the meantime until the prophecy happens." And at that point, Ares comes in with the knocked out body of Artemis and just like, here you go. I told you guys to stay out of my business, and this is how you repay things. And Apollo calls him out for being sided with Wonder Woman, and he's just like, yeah, okay, sure, whatever. But point being, stay out of my way. And then Poseidon starts laughing. He's like, none of you understand. This baby is not the child of prophecy. I looked at the child of prophecy, the one who's going to kill them all. He is coming for your throne, Apollo. And unlike this baby, he can't be stopped. And at this point, we see Lennox and the crew making their way in the downtown of London. And as they reach the end of an alley, they come across Firstborn, and her name is Cassandra. I'm sure I may have known that before, but I'm finally locking it in. And turns out they recognize Cassandra, and Hera recognizes the Firstborn, and she's like, oh, this isn't good. So Cassandra introduces herself to Zola, and I'm just like, oh yeah, no, Lennox is my brother. I am also a child of Zeus, but my special ability was I had a voice that like could persuade people to do things. And Lennox is like, yeah, and she used that ability to have how many? 20, 30, 20? A dozen? 40. 40 people kill themselves just on a whim. And so he ripped out Cassandra's throat. And she's just like, all right, well, that wasn't your place to do that. Now, was it? And Firstborn's like, all right, this is stupid. Enough with the words. Let's fight. And Lennox is like, oh, yeah, finally, I'm in. So next issue, Lennox almost certainly dies. I'm looking forward to seeing Firstborn actually go up in a fight here. That being said, now that we know Cassandra is also a daughter of Zeus, I'm more interested. Obviously her power set, which was her voice, is a bit gone, but I'm sure she has some level of super strength still. There has to be more to it than just, I had a good voice. So I'm looking forward to that as well. It's managed to get me interested in this character just with like a single panel of saying you killed 40 people by just telling them to. That's super interesting from a character perspective. Art-wise, everything's good. Nothing really stood out. I don't know where the art transition was, so it was super nice throughout. Don't really have much more to say about it, so I'm just going to say that this one is a 7.5. And I do want to say they do Artemis so dirty in this book. Not just this issue, but like the title as a whole. Artemis, just as goddess of the hunt, she cannot win any of these battles. They're doing her so dirty. But regardless, I enjoy it. So yeah, 7.5.